Very good day to all of you. Based on the meeting, 47th GST Council meeting, lot of notifications and circulars have been issued. And one notification is notification 14, which makes lot of amendment to the CGST rules. So lot of amendments have been made. In this session, we are going to see what are all the changes proposed in the GSTR-3B form. GSTR-3B, as we all know, is the monthly return to be filed by the taxpayers. In that format, lot of changes have been made. We will try to see what are those changes. I'll just share my screen. Yes. In the GSTR-3B form, lot of amendments have been proposed by notification 14 of 2022. We can categorize these changes into three broad categories. That is, changes in reporting supplies made through e-commerce operators. That is one particular head we can see. The second one is changes in connection with reporting of interstate supplies. That is the second category. The third one, various changes in reporting input tax credit, ITC. So under these three categories, we can see what are all the changes that have been made in form GSTR-3B. First, we will take up the changes relating to the supplies made through e-com operators. Section 9, subsection 5 of the CGST Act says, for certain category of supplies, the tax will be paid by the e-commerce operator. If certain supplies are made through e-commerce operator, the actual supplier need not pay the tax, but the e-com operator will pay the tax. This is what section 9.5 says. Under that, notification 17 of 2017 has been issued, where various services have been notified under section 9.5, where the tax will be paid by the e-commerce operator as if he is the supplier. The actual supplier need not pay the taxes. So far, various services are notified under section 9.5. They are transportation of passengers by radio taxi, motor cab, maxi cab, motorcycle, omnibus, or any other motor vehicle. Hotel accommodation, if the hotel is not registered. If the hotel is registered, they themselves will pay. If the hotel is not registered, the e-commerce operator through whom the rooms are booked, they will be liable to pay the tax. Housekeeping, plumbing, and carpentry, and supply of food. So these are all the services which are notified under section 9.5. And if these services are provided through e-commerce operator, the tax will be paid by the e-commerce operator, not by the actual supplier. So now the question is, if the supplier is registered and the tax is payable by the e-commerce operator under section 9.5, how the taxpayer will reflect this turnover in the 3B return, and how the e-com operator will be reflecting these details in his 3B return. So these are all the issues. Now, if we see the form 3B, the table 3.1, that will capture all cases of outward supply, whether taxable, exempted, zero rated, the cases where under reverse charge somebody is liable to pay. So all these type of clearances are captured in table 3.1 of the GSTR-3B return. Now, when this levy was expanded from 1st January 2022, the section 9.5 was extended to various other services. At that time, there was a doubt where these clearances have to be shown in the GSTR-3B return. So at that time, one circular was issued on 17/12/2021. So there it was clarified, the e-coms operator, they will show it in table 3.1 itself. In table 3.1 as a taxable outward supply, they will show it. And the suppliers who are not liable to pay the tax will be paid by the e-com operator. The suppliers have to show it in table 3.1.c. Now, with these amendments, whatever has been clarified in the circular 167 dated 17/12/2021 has been superseded. Now, a new table is introduced in GSTR-3B return. Table 3.1.1 has been introduced. It will have two classes, class 1 and class 2. So the e-commerce operator, let us say Swiggy, the Swiggy, whatever food supply that is happening through Swiggy, the tax will be paid by Swiggy themselves and not by the hotel. So the Swiggy have to show that particular value in table 3.1.1 class 1, subclass 1. So Swiggy has to show, that is the e-commerce operator has to show the value on which they are liable to pay the tax in respect of the supplies notified under section 9.5 in table 3.1.1 class 1. The persons who are making the actual supply, that is the hotel, the transport operator, etc., where the tax is going to be paid by the e-commerce operator. So these actual suppliers, they have to show the details of this particular turnover in the newly introduced table 3.1.1 class 2. So briefly, a new table has been added in 3B, that is 3.1.1. It has got two provisions, two classes, 1 and 2. 1 is applicable for the e-com operator, 2 is applicable for the supplier. So this table is relevant only for the cases which are notified under section 9.5. So the particular turnover on which the e-com operator is paying the tax, the e-com operator has to show it in 3.1.11 and the supplier has to show the turnover in 3.1.1 class 2. So this is one amendment relating to e-com operator. Next, as we all know, there are two types of supplies, intrastate supply and interstate supply. Table 3.1 will capture all supplies, whether intrastate, interstate, everything will be captured in 3.1 and the tax liability also will be determined based on table 3.1. There is another table 3.2 in which, this is already there, in which the taxpayer is supposed to give the breakup of interstate supply. The breakup of interstate supply made to unregistered persons, composition taxpayers, and unique identity number holders, the persons who are having the UIN. So the interstate supply made to unregistered person, composition taxpayer, and UIN holders. This has to be separately identified and shown in table 3.2. This requirement is already there. We should continue to do that. Now, the e-com operator who is paying tax under section 9.5, they should also give the breakup of interstate supply made by them to 3 categories of recipients, that is unregistered persons, composition persons, and UIN holders. So a normal supplier as well as an e-com operator who is paying tax under section 9.5, they have to show the breakup of interstate supplies made by them to 3 categories of persons, unregistered persons, composition taxpayers, and UIN holders separately in table 3.2. This has got nothing to do with the liability. This is only a declaration for information. Liability will be under table 3.1 only. This is the second category of changes made in form GSTR-3B. The third one, which is very important, many changes have been made in the table pertaining to ITC. Table 4 relates to ITC. In table 4, lot of changes have been made. Table 4A, it will give the details of various ITC. ITC will come from various sources like import of goods, import of services from ISD, and reverse charge. Whatever liability we are paying under reverse charge, the same will be eligible for ITC. So from various sources, the details of ITC will be auto-populated in table 4A of GSTR-3B return. So now there is already a table 4B. The existing 4B reads like this. Existing table 4B has 2 subdivisions. The first one is whatever is the reversal under rule 42-43. That is part of 4B1 and all other reversal. All other reversal should be shown under 4B2. This is the existing format. Now they have introduced new 4B. This new 4B also will have 2 subsections, that is 1 and 2. Table 4B1 and table 4B2. Now 4B1, we have to show 3 types of reversal. Reversal under rule 42, reversal under rule 43, and blocked credit under section 17.5. So please note, this is a major change. Earlier 4B1 will show only rule 42, 43. Now table 4B1, we have to show not only rule 42, 43 reversal, but also blocked credit under section 17.5. See, earlier people used to will not be showing the 17.5 reversal separately. Earlier 17.5 reversal has to be shown in 4D, but people used to show the net reversal. So after excluding the blocked credit, only the net credit will be shown by many taxpayers in table 4A. That is not the case now. Whether a credit is eligible under section 17.5, whether it is ineligible, whatever it is, that credit has to be shown in table 4A. And in 4B1, we have to show 3 types of ineligible credit reversals: rule 42, rule 43, and blocked credit under section 17.5. All the 3 things put together should be forming part of table 4B1 as per the amended table. All other reversal, it will come under 4B2. If you see this 4B2, apart from 17.5, rule 42 and rule 43, there are certain circumstances where reversal has to be done. Like for example, if the taxpayer is not making payment to the supplier within 180 days, he has to reverse the credit. But as and when he make the payment to the supplier, he can take recredit. He can reclaim the credit. So this is a reversal which is temporary in nature, which can be claimed once again. That is one example. Similarly, I have got an invoice. I have got an invoice on the last day of a month. The supplier has also uploaded it in the GSTR-1. It is also reflecting in our GSTR-2B, but the goods have not yet been received. So for taking the credit, receipt of goods is also one of the important condition. But if goods are not received by 30th of the month, I am not eligible to take the credit in that particular month. So even though that particular invoice is appearing in my GSTR-2B, I will not be eligible to take the credit. So I have to reverse that credit. But next month, after receiving the goods, I can reclaim the credit. So now the newly introduced table 4B2 will contain all temporary reversals which can be reclaimed. So table 4B2, the new table 4B2, it will contain all reclaimable reversal. I have given some examples also. Now, earlier 4B1 and 4B2, 4B1 is only for rule 42, rule 43, and 4B2 for all types of reversal. Now, new table 4B1, that is for rule 42, rule 43, as well as blocked credit under section 17.5, and 4B2 will show all other reversals which are reclaimable. This is one important change which we have to note. Now, 4C. 4C is the net ITC. There is no change. 4A minus 4B will be 4C. So 4A will give the total credit, mostly auto-populated. We can edit it also. And minus 4B. What is 4B? 17.5, rule 42, rule 43, and all reclaimable reversal. So 4A minus 4B will give 4C, that is the net ITC, that will be transferred to the electronic credit ledger. Now coming to 4D, earlier 4D talks about ineligible credit. It has 2 subtables. 4D1 is blocked credit under section 17.5 and all other ineligible credit under 4D2. Now 4D2 has been changed, has been substituted. So now 4D1 we have to show whatever credit we have reversed under 4B2, that is reclaimable reversal. Subsequently, when we are reclaiming such a credit, that quantum has to be shown in table 4D1. The purpose of this amendment is, see, for example, in month 1, I have not made payment within 180 days. I reversed 1,000 rupees. Month 2, I have not made payment to some of my suppliers within 180 days. So I reverse another 2,000. So 3,000. Third month, I take 5,000 rupees as recredit. So there is no mechanism to match whether the reversal of credit done by me under rule 37 and the recredit taken by me are properly matching or not. So to bring about a matching in this particular regard, these two details are now asked to be shown separately. So in 4B2, we show the reversal which are reclaimable in nature. In 4D1, we are going to show the reclaimed credit. So at any point of time, the total of 4D1 should either be equal to 4B2 or it should be less than 4B2. At no point of time, 4D1 can be greater than 4B2. If it is going to be greater, alert will be given to the department. It does not automatically mean that we have committed a mistake. There may be some other reason also, but it will give an alert. So ideally, 4D1 should always be either equal to 4B2 or less than 4B2. Now, the reclaimed credit is shown in 4D1. Will it automatically go to electronic credit ledger? It will not go. This is only for the purpose of information for verification. So the reclaimed credit has to be shown in 4A also. 4A is the only table through which the credit will be transferred to the electronic credit ledger. So whatever amount we are claiming as a recredit, payment not made within 180 days, we reversed. After making the payment, we reclaim the credit. We have reversed some credit under 4B2 because we have not received the goods and services. Subsequently, we have received the goods or services. So we have to reclaim the credit. We have to reclaim the credit in two places. One in 4A5 to claim the credit, and we have to give the information about the reclaimed credit in 4D1 also. So another instance where this reclaim is possible under section 16(2)(c), one of the conditions for taking the credit is the supplier should have paid the tax. Suppose it is appearing, supplier has filed GSTR-1, that invoice is appearing in our GSTR-2A, we are taking the credit. But subsequently, the department comes to know the supplier has not paid the taxes. They are asking us to pay that amount, repay that, reverse that credit. Where we will reverse, we have to reverse it in 4D2. Because subsequently, if the supplier is going to make the payment of the tax within the time frame available, under section 16(4), we can reclaim the credit. While reclaim the credit, we have to put it both under 4A5 as well as under 4D1. So 4D1 is the new table where our reclaimed credit has to be shown. So it is very important. It is not only sufficient to show it in 4D1. We have to add it in 4A5 also. Generally, the amount will come to the electronic credit ledger. So reclaimed credits have to be shown in two places. This is very important. And what is 4D2? 4D2, in two situations, credits are ineligible. For example, CGST, SGST paid in a different state. I'm a taxpayer. I go to a different state and I'm staying in a hotel. The hotel will charge only CGST, SGST in the respective state. Suppose I go to Karnataka. The Karnataka hotel will charge CGST and Karnataka SGST, which is not eligible for ITC for me. I am registered in Tamil Nadu. I am not eligible to take that credit. This amount is an ineligible credit. It will not be auto-populated in 4A. It will not be auto-populated in 4A. So this credit will not be credited to our electronic credit ledger at all. But we have to show that amount. How much credit is ineligible on account of the place of supply being in a different state. We have to identify this amount and we have to show it in 4D2. That is one. Second, time limit. My supplier, he has not filed the return within the period prescribed in section 16(4). That is due date for filing the subsequent September return, which is proposed to be amended to 20th of November next year. So if my supplier is filing his return after the date prescribed under section 16(4), I will not be eligible to take that credit. This credit also will not be reflecting auto-populated in the 4A return. So we have to quantify how much credit I was ineligible to take on account of my supplier filing the return beyond the time limit prescribed under section 16(4). So these two ineligible credits alone have to be shown under table 4D2. Apart from that, there may be occasion for various other reversals for various purposes. Suppose I take some credit by arithmetically, instead of taking some 10,000, we edit 4A and we take excess credit. All those reversals have to be done only through 4B2. 4B2. But again, 4B1, only 3 type of reversals. 17.5, Rule 42, Rule 43. All other reversal, we have to show it only in table 4B2. So very important amendments. Now we will see this example. This example is also given in the circular issued by the CBIC. The same example, I'll try to explain it. 4A1 is ITC on imported goods, auto-populated from IceGate. 4A2, ITC on import of service. This will not be auto-populated. We have to put it manually. 4A3, ITC on inward supply under RCM. Whatever RCM we pay, that will automatically come as ITC in this particular table 4A3, 25,000, 25,000. 4A4, ITC from ISD. This is also, it will not be auto-populated. We have to take that credit. And 4A5, ITC on all other inward supply, local procurement, everything will come under 4A5. So these are the 5 tables through which the ITC will be coming into our return. So the total amount is coming to 4 lakhs IGST, 1,75,000 CGST, and 1,75,000 SGST. Now, 4B1, new 4B1. This is whatever ITC to be reversed under Rule 38, Rule 42, Rule 43, and Section 17.5. I forgot to mention about Rule 38 earlier. Rule 38 is applicable for banking companies and financial institutions. They have an option because most of their services are exempted services. So they are eligible to take only 50% credit. The entire 100% credit has to be shown in table 4A, and the 50% reversal has to be shown in 4B1. And similarly, Rule 42 reversal, Rule 43 reversal, which is applicable for all taxpayers, that should also form part of 4B1. And blocked credit under Section 17.5, that also should be included in 4B1. So in our example, Rule 42-43 reversal is 75,500 under IGST, 52,000 each under CGST, SGST. Apart from that, ineligible credit, that is 17.5, blocked credit 50,000 under IGST. So we have to show 75,500 plus 50,000, that is 1,25,500 under IGST and 52,000 each under CGST, SGST. So this is Rule 42-43 reversal. So this is what has to be shown in table 4B1. Since in the example, this is not a banking company, we have not taken anything for Rule 38. Otherwise, if it is a banking company, Rule 38 reversal, that is the 50% reversal, that also should come in table 4B1. Now coming to 4B2, all other reversal. For example, goods not received, but invoice received, 10,000 rupees IGST, and payment not made within 180 days, 500 CGST, SGST. Any other reversal has to be shown only under table 4B2. Now 4C will be 4A minus 4B. So that is the net credit. 4A minus 4B, that will be the net eligible ITC, which will be transferred to the electronic credit ledger. Now, if we go to 4D, 4D1 and 4D2. 4D1, as I said, whatever credit we are taking, we are reclaiming in this particular month. That is, earlier we have reversed some amount because we have not paid to the supplier within 180 days. This month we have paid to that supplier. So that credit has to be reclaimed. So all reclaimed credit should be shown under 4D1. Not only that, we have to show it under 4A5 also. 4A5 is ITC on all other inward supplies. Only when you include that amount in 4A5, that amount will become part of net ITC and it will be credited to the electronic credit ledger. And 4D2 is only for the purpose of information and verification. So reclaimed credit has to be shown in 2 places. And 4D2, ineligible credit on account of 2 reasons. One, where the place of supply is in a different state. It's a CGST, SGST, but place of supply is not in the state where we are registered. So that amount has to be shown in 4D2. And apart from that, wherever the credit cannot be taken due to lapse of the time limit, that also has to be shown. This will not lead to reversal because these two amounts are not already part of 4A. It is not auto-populated at all. So this is for the purpose of information. It is for the purpose of control and verification by the department. So these are all the various changes which have been introduced. Another big question is, for the month of June, we will be filing the 3B return somewhere in 20th July. Whether the GSTR-3B for the month of June itself, we have to file in this new format, we don't know. We have to wait and see whether the format is going to be changed in the portal, or will it come into effect only for the month of July return or from June return itself. That is not very much clear as of now. So we have to wait and see. So these are all the important changes that have been made in the GSTR-3B format. Even though it has been said a lot of simplification is being made, actually, if you see, it leads to more compliance. So we have to be very, very careful. We have to understand the tables. And if anybody have a different view on that, because on reading all these languages, tables and all, see one particular example I will take. Rule 42-43 reversal. We make a provisional reversal. After the financial year is over, we do a final reversal. And if the provisional reversal is more than the final reversal, then we will reclaim that excess reversal. So that is not the reclaimed credit which is contemplated here. That is not the reclaimed credit. What is mentioned as reclaimed credit for the purpose of table 4D1 is what is legally a temporary reversal. There is a condition that we have to reverse the credit for various reasons. We have not received the goods. We have not made a payment within 180 days. So we have to reverse the credit. But we are eligible to retake that credit. We are eligible to reclaim the credit. That alone will form part of 4D1. So there may be a lot of confusions on understanding these changes and all. We have to be very, very careful. So we have to understand all these changes and it has to be implemented properly. Thank you all.